Hello! I'm Nick D'Agostino and this is Pat Flynn, and we're here from iWokeUpToday.com. Today we're going to be talking about Andrew Jackson.
Give me that dun 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 dun!
So Andrew Jackson was born in 1767 between the borders of North and South Carolina. He was the 7th President of the United States and he served for 2 terms. Now, you might know him as the guy whose face is on a $20 bill. Can you show a $20 bill so we can see what this guy looks like? So Andrew Jackson's a bit of a controversial figure. Some love him, some hate him, some are in between. The reasons to hate him are because he passed something called the Indian Removal Act, which was a law that essentially pushed all the Native Americans to the western part of America and got them out of the land that they had originally been living in. On the plus side, though, Andrew Jackson was one of the first real Democrats. He was known as a man of the people whose real goal was to take power out of the hands of the wealthy and give it back to regular people. Now, the thing about Andrew Jackson is he's really just kind of completely out of his mind. I'm going to give you some stories here that are going to really illustrate that. In 1828, Andrew Jackson gets elected president. While he's running, people were totally freaked out by the guy. A lot of his opponents thought he was just kind of a mess and liked to call him a jackass. Now, Andrew Jackson, rather than getting upset by this, actually loved it and loved being called a jackass. He thought it was funny. Instead of Jackson, it was jackass. So what he actually did is he then used a donkey as his political symbol. Now, this died out kind of quickly, but if you know now, the symbol of Democrats is actually a donkey. So in 1829, when he gets inaugurated, he decides, you know what, I really am a man of the people, and I want my inauguration to have all the people of this country there. So what he did is he took out an ad in the newspaper and advertised Andrew Jackson's inauguration party. And on that day, he took office, and that night, he opened up the White House to the public and allowed anybody to come in. Now, it turns out that tens of thousands of people show up, and it's actually documented as one of the drunkest mobs in all of history. So Andrew Jackson decides this is even too much for me. He goes upstairs to the White House, climbs out a window, and spends his first night as the President of the United States, not in the White House, but in a small hotel in Virginia. So then, a couple years later, this guy named Richard Lawrence decides, I've had enough of Andrew Jackson, I'm going to try to assassinate him. This was actually the first assassination attempt on a president in all of American history. So, Richard Lawrence comes out, one gun in each hand, and shoots right at Andrew Jackson. Turns out, he misses. Both of these guns end up misfiring, and Andrew Jackson survives. So he gets, Andrew Jackson kind of gets blown back, he's freaked out right now. When he gets up, he decides, oh, no way. Takes out his hickory cane and beats this guy to a pulp. So that's Andrew Jackson. If you like what you heard, I would definitely recommend you go and read more. Some of the biographies about Andrew Jackson are really great. There's also a lot of really interesting stories on the internet. This is only the tip of the iceberg. The guy was literally out of his mind from day one. So if you like this video, please pass it out to your friends through your Hotmail account. Like it on Facebook, send it out on Twitter. Anything you can do, we really appreciate. And don't forget to learn you're human. I'm Nick D'Agostino.